China is keeping a watchful eye on this weekend's protests in Hong Kong as protesters gather for the 11th consecutive week of demonstrations. The initially peaceful demonstration, which started in June against a now suspended extradition bill, have evolved into frequent clashes between police and activists. Diana Magnay has more from Hong Kong, where teachers are gathering in support of students.
Huge turnout. It feels to me as though every teacher in Hong Kong is out here. And we've been walking very slowly up this road towards the governor's residence, and we seem to have reached a kind of bottleneck. I'm with Winnie Lai, who is a special needs teacher. Explain where we are and also what you have up here.
We are outside the governor's house where the CE lives, and we're telling the CE that we want to say no and want to protect our children because the police has been using a lot of force to try to stop us from telling them what we want to say. So we're quite angry. As teachers, we want to protect children. We want to save, our children and from and letting them know it's okay and it's right to tell them what is right, and they're not listening. So every week we're out onto the streets trying to tell them and make them listen.
Because I saw one powerful poster here which said, I used to tell my students that they should trust the government. Now I can't. What shall I tell them now? Are your students asking you about these protests?
They are. My students are quite little, but they do know because we are, everyone in Hong Kong is affected by the protest, no doubt, because the traffic's gone crazy, but children have a right to know. Then they as teachers, we teach them that, what's right and what's wrong. We want them to have the morals to know what's right and wrong, and to, have the power and have the braveness to tell everybody what's happening. And children do ask, what's happening, what's mommy doing, mommy and daddy have, why are you out today? We tell them the truth, because we've been trying to tell everybody what's happening, tell the government what our wants are and what we don't want, but it's not happening and it's not making a difference. So we keep coming out every week.
The government doesn't really seem to be listening, and there are calls here for Carrie Lam, the chief executive, to resign.
Exactly.
Do you think that will make any difference?
I think that would be great if it's the first step, because I think every time she steps out, everyone's really, really angry. It seems that every word she says is denying all the efforts and all of our voices, because we want to tell her what's happening, but, she's not listening. So it's she stepping down, her stepping down is the first step.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to leave it there. First step, some people say, though, that Carrie Lam really doesn't have any autonomy anymore, that it is Beijing who is calling the shots fundamentally in this protest, in what the police choose to do and in the future of Hong Kong. And that is, of course, why people are out in such numbers.